So, hi children, I'm happy to meet you all in lesson 5. Something Unexpected Happens, part 2, which is the continuation of lesson 4. Something Unexpected Happens, part 1, children. So, in that lesson, we saw that Peter pushed Clara's wheelchair down the hill. Grandfather then decided to take Clara and Heidi up the mountain. But Clara and Heidi were in doubts that how grandfather could take them to the mountain without the wheelchair, because Clara can't move from one place to another without the wheelchair. So they both thought among themselves. Who, Clara and Heidi, they thought among themselves, will something unexpected happens. Let's see what happens to them and how they reach the mountain without the wheelchair. So children, I hope you all are ready with your English textbook, pencil and eraser. So let's take page number 61 in your English textbook. So as I read, I want you all to put your finger over the words and listen carefully. When they reached the spot where the goats usually pastured means grazing children, grazed or ate grass, they were surprised to find them already feeding there, and Peter with them. Have you seen the chair? Asked grandfather. What chair? Called Peter. Grandfather said no more. He spread the shawls on the sunny slope and placed Clara on them. Spread means opening something that was folded so that it covered a larger area than before. Oh, Heidi, it is lovely, Clara cried, looking round her. So, children, Grandpa carried Clara and then they reached the top of the mountain. But they were surprised to see the goats along with Peter. On seeing Peter, Grandpa questioned him about the wheelchair, where Peter reacted as if he had not seen it. Then Grandpa spread the shawl on the sunny slope and placed Clara on it. Clara looked around her and felt happy about being on the mountainside. Children, take page number 62. The sky was dark blue and not a single cloud was to be seen. Heidi wanted to go to the spot where the flowers grew to see if they were as lovely as before. Clara was happy sitting all alone on the mountainside. Heidi reached her field of flowers. There she saw lots of shining yellow cistus flowers. Cistus means flowering shrubs found on dry or rocky soils. So cistus flowers among many others. She turned round and ran to Clara's side out of breath. Oh, you must come, she said excitedly. Excitedly means in a happy and energetic way. It is more beautiful than you can imagine. Imagine means to form a picture in your mind of what something might be. I can help you walk. Clara looked at her and shook her head. Heidi, you are smaller than I am. Oh, if only I could walk. So, children, how was the sky? The sky was blue, not even without a single cloud. So, here Heidi went to the field of flowers to see whether they were as lovely as before, because she wanted to show, in case if those flowers are as lovely as before, she wanted to show those flowers to Clara. So what she did, she, after noticing the shining yellow cistus flowers among the other flowers, she ran out of excitement and came to Clara to take her along with her to the field of lovely flowers. Then Heidi came forward to help Clara. She felt that it would be difficult for her to walk because Heidi was smaller than her. Heidi looked round and saw Peter sitting up above, looking down at them. Heidi called out, Peter, come down here. Heidi told Peter to hold Clara under the arm on one side and she would hold her on the other. Together they were to lift her up, but Clara could not even stand and Heidi was too small for her to lean upon. You must put one arm around my neck and the other through Peter's, said Heidi. Peter helped them, but it was still difficult. Clara was up one side and down the other because her supports were of different heights. Supports means people supporting. Put your foot down firmly once, suggested Heidi. I'm sure it will hurt you less after that. Do you think so? Said Clara hesitatingly. Hesitatingly means in an unsure manner. She followed Heidi's advice. Advice means suggestion. And put one step on the ground and then another. Oh, that was less painful, she exclaimed. Exclaimed means said suddenly and loudly, especially because of strong emotion. She exclaimed joyfully. Try again, said Heidi. Children, take page number 63, ma. Okay. And Clara went on putting one foot after another until all at once she called out, I can do it, Heidi. Look, look, I can take proper steps. A delighted Heidi shouted, You can walk now, Clara, you can walk. Clara felt stronger with every step and Heidi was filled with happiness. Now you will be able to walk about as I do. It is a great joy. Clara heartily agreed. Heartily means happily. She could think of no greater joy in the world than to be strong and able to walk like other people. Later on, when Heidi called Peter for help, Peter also agreed and came to help. Then Heidi asked Clara to put one arm around her and the other arm around Peter to walk. Even then, Clara couldn't because her supports were of different heights. Yes, children. Heidi was too small for Clara and Peter was little taller than Clara. But Heidi suggested her to move one foot once and then to move the other. Finally, Clara was able to walk as per Heidi's suggestion. And then she felt stronger and excited about her walking, which even made Heidi to be happy. So as she was able to walk with the help of Heidi and Peter, she had a thought of walking on her own in the world like other people. Even though the story started with Peter's mischievous thing where he felt lonely without Heidi's friendship, later on he understood that Heidi was still the same. Okay, and she remembers to call him for help. So all these things Peter understood when Heidi called him in order to help Clara. Moreover, he even understood the importance of differently abled children. At last, Peter, Heidi, and Clara, all the three became very good friends. And that's the end of the story. So, children, do you think grandfather knows what happened to the chair, children? Do you have any idea whether grandfather knows? Yes, children, grandfather knows what happened to the wheelchair because he only asked Peter if he had seen the wheelchair. But what happened? Peter pretends as if he don't know anything about the wheelchair. So, grandfather does not ask Peter anything else about the chair. Okay, children. Now I'm going to put you another question. Children, do you think whether Peter was right in his thinking because he felt selfish about Heidi? He wants Heidi to be friend only with him and push the wheelchair down the slope. So, what do you think? So, instead of that, what Peter should have done actually? Very good, children. Peter's thought of being selfish about Heidi's friendship was wrong. So instead, what Peter should have done? He should have tried to be friend with Clara so that all three of them could have played and spent time together happily. So children, from this what you learned actually? Some of you will feel bad when your best friend goes and talks with the other one. Yes? So hereafter you should not have that feeling. because you saw in this story itself what happened. Yes, because of Peter's selfishness about Heidi's friendship. So you should not be like that. You should be always ready to accept a new friend, whoever comes between you and your best friend. Okay, you should accept the new friend, and you should be a good friend along with them. Thank you, children.